All right, I'm back, and I got some super classified deets today to let go of. I want to talk about lowest factorial block idea. You ever think of that? Instead of the physical realm, lowest factorial blocks would be like waves and photons, and whatever makes up quantum particles is basically what I'm going on right now. Is because we haven't found lowest factorial blocks, the truth yet in public eye, meaning we don't know exactly what makes matter up. Some people say it's light, which makes a lot of sense because if you burn matter, it it alchemizes into lower factorial, which is light. But it also goes into waves and gases and other kinds of things. So each piece of matter is a little bit different. So it's kind of like an encryption of the universe science. So we're decrypting the universe publicly, and it's not easy. So I want to talk about decrypting idea because I believe we are all remote controlling. We are remote controlling our brains with RAID 10 format, and lowest factorial idea would mean that our brains are hosted elsewhere for safety reasons, and they're kind of geared in to the universe. And what I want to talk about is cursing and clarity as a muscle. Imagine this: you do nothing but good, and those that are wisest see. And now you get a enchanted um, idea phenotype, clarity, position within the infinity of the universe. That is. Now, what I'm trying to talk about is we are already alien brain phenotype, and there are more advanced alien brain phenotypes to be blessed into. So if you get lowest factorial block idea, it's not necessarily that you're going to be able to hack somebody's mind out. That's not real. It's not how it works. Because just because you have understanding and resimulation, that means you have a clone, right? I'm assuming we're all already in isolation, one universe per conscious entity, because of the freeness that it is to host source, from source. So to move along, your clarity can go up and down because of infinite many different things. Your beliefs are one of them. Smart max level at the end. Jeej. It does work, by the way, if you get smart at the max level at the end. Not at the end. It doesn't do anything. None of those skill choices mattered. But if you get smart and your max level, you do get an extra level. And 25% XP to that next level. So if smart is always a smart choice if there are no smarter choices. But idea phenotypes, I want to get into that logic. Idea plexes and like what is the lowest factorial blocks, and like if you could just take a snapshot of time on an idea and you know every little bit about it. Well, my clarity is actually that high, where that's kind of how I perceive. I could be like with somebody in telepathy and I'll read their idea. I don't even read their narrative. And there's three kind of stages of ideas that I want to talk about. Is consenting to tell you. So that's belief, idea, will. You believe that this happens, and you will it to happen, and you created that with idea. So it's kind of like gears within your single player ideaplex. And that's a play on we're already in source. And if you have beliefs that are different, they will be beliefs that are different, right? Because that's how it should be. Your beliefs should be catered to. And I want to talk about wave functioning in your ideaplex too, because of telepathic harassment. People that get like driven crazy because of telepathy, they can't figure it out. If we have one bit different on a telepathic network, just one bit difference, it should automatically wave function and scramble, because that person is no longer within that phenotype anymore. So if somebody consents to be in a non-parallel ideaplex phenotype for telepathy, they should automatically be catered to and brought to what I would call is telepathic witness relocation, basically. Witness relocation meaning I witnessed these things, therefore I want to relocate. Completely different. It's a play on consent. Is if your consent is to move where you think, because where you think is being harassed, you deserve it. So people do not deserve to be driven crazy unless driving people crazy. So I want to talk about how easy it would be to wave function ideaplexes when we capture root consciousness. Because when you're at capturing root consciousness phase, you will have extrapolated biology as technology, and you are at basically the level of God. Smart at the end twice. Lol. You're basically at the level of God is. You have all of the factorial blocks of the universe within a source, and then you Wi-Fi root consciousness for the most part. You would take the root consciousness and create it like a file and run it in RAID 1.0 format, so then there is no damage done to the perceiver. The perceiver will stay exactly as is, and it will be more of like a file where the file will never be deleted. It'll just keep ascending and transcending into different positions in the universe. So what I really want to keep in mind is clarity. Clarity of truth is different than clarity of thought as well. These two things are very, very important right now in my life, because there are so many liars. I'm in Arizona right now. It's like I'm in Arizona doing angel work, and the amount of liars is 1,000,000,000,000 to 1. Nobody wants to tell the truth. Everybody wants to mislead. Everybody wants to curse. Everybody wants to rape. Everybody wants to slander. Everybody wants, self-promotion, and they want to take down everybody else because they think the universe is a competition. coconut water. All right. So here's how I see it as is infinite brain phenotype networks gearing into the universe, all isolated from each other, which is why some people have telepathy and some people don't. Okay? And the other side of the thing is when you are telepathic, there should not just be one telepathic field. It should be infinite many telepathic fields. If somebody wants to say, I'm telepathic, and then now I don't want to be telepathic, they should be able to change the gears of their brain phenotype and say, I'm a non-parallel brain phenotype. All they should have to do is say that and be catered to. And then bam. Because the biggest, number one thing I'm dealing with right now is like, where is my proprietary? You know what I mean? Like, how do you think that you have authorization to scan my brain and steal my ideas? I don't even practice local brain belief. You're raping my religion in the first place. And then second of all is like, how would you think that it's okay to steal my proprietary ideas to profit? And then me not profit too. That's another one. It's like, how are you gonna think that I'm not like the proprietor? Like, I'm not even talking about 90% right now. I'm talking like 200% more than what you made because you stole my proprietary information straight out of my skull. No, thank you. Like, this is okay. You want to watch? I'm making content. I consent to release this. But the whole ID consent, here's the thing is light, darkness, and peace all revolve around one thing. 3 different kinds of idea phenotype data release. Darkness, deconsent to tell still works at an individual. That is a darkness idea mannerism, where I can cast spells on you with my idea, and I can deconsent you to even know what they are, so you can never figure them out, so I can keep casting them on you. Then there's the light aspect of it, where it's like, I can deconsent to tell you things and it'll work for me, which would necessarily mean that they're mind-washing themselves in a way. And then there's the peace aspect of it all, where I consent to release this. The receiver goes, I consent to consume this. That's kind of where I'm coming from, is like, if I consent to release something, like on my Twitch or my YouTube, that's open game. That's fine. You can't really steal it, per se, without citing it, especially with our rules nowadays, because it'll be just so sketchy, like, but, how do you get away with stealing people's ideas straight from their skull? Like, we don't know. Like, I'm talking about wave, 3-dimensional scanning machines, scalar, telepathy listening. Just putting your will in to listen to somebody without their consent. Like, if I go, I'm a non-parallel phenotype, and somebody still tries to listen to me, and they actually get my proprietary data, how the fuck am I supposed to play the universe? How am I supposed to have how am I supposed to sell myself? Everybody's got my data now. Like, what do you mean? How am I supposed to play the universe? No. No start, finish, end, everything. No. The end. Absolutely ridiculous. Another one I want to talk about is trying to use deconsent to tell to frame somebody, like, or set somebody up. Like, you cannot do deconsent to tell at somebody. Basically, like signing a contract, redacting the whole thing, and then putting it in front of you and saying, "Sign this." Well, that thing has no weight whatsoever. Only the unredacted part would have any amount of weight, correct? I'm pretty sure that's like our law on Earth. You know what I mean? Like, nope. The other one I want to talk about is nanites. I discovered nanites are real already. Um, Nanites are basically factorial gears in the universe around quantum level that can interact with quantum positioning already. Now, I want to talk about bad nanites and scalar. Scalar, to me, is computing every potential option in the universe with all factorial blocks and then going this instead of this kind of deal, where you're basically like healing timelines in the moment even. And what I want to talk about is scalar poisoning. Is mixing nanites with scalar poisoning is basically doing super advanced rape onto biotech. And you basically are predicting the universe and the positioning of everything, and then you're trying to create pain in the user's relative perceived somehow. And I really want to get rid of this stuff because I'm pretty sure I'm being attacked by exactly this. I have the worst and fastest cavity growth I've ever seen. I don't even think it's possible, to be honest. I went from having perfectly fine teeth to having what I would say pretty much nanites attack my teeth. And it felt like they're climbing into my bones, into my facial structure. And it has to do with what I would say dark army, scalar, and like scalar poisoning and nanite poisoning. It's wild, actually, absolutely wild. And just talking about it kind of gets it out there, you know. Just as long as it's out there and we know that this is a real potential, then we can work on solutions, right? Solutions are as simple as multiverse, anything. The thing is we got to stop allowing people to invent factorial gears that gear in to reality. I'm talking about a magic is whitelist only universe. Like, sure, you can make some magical things like nanites and lower factorial blocks in the universe, but you are going to have to apply for them to be real. We do not need scalar poisoning. This is talking about wave editing. Like, we're using waves, like, remotely, like, from satellites to edit your biology, to send nanites at you for relative perceived. Like, remote control nanite swarm comes at you and starts editing your biology. This is not something that's made up. The universe wasn't born yesterday. So the thing is we are already super advanced biotech. White blood cells pretty much look for anything in your body and get rid of it that's not supposed to be there. And RNA, DNA structures are so super advanced, it's so smart. Just because you think humans aren't smart doesn't mean the military is not, doesn't mean the underground orgs aren't. It doesn't mean that God isn't. God is an eventuality. Once root consciousness gets captured, Wi-Fi, root consciousness, biology is technology. All this stuff adds up to the end-all, be-all. The universe is a creation. The universe is already a creation. It's one of the most beautiful things ever. You get so far along in that, and you might realize the universe is 100% consent. You consented to this. Every moment you consent to. You consent to the moment. You consent to your next moment. But not outside of the moment, though. You have to consent to it every moment. $15. Let's get it. So I really want to talk about creating something new. Creating something new is actually the scariest thing in the universe. And I'm not saying something relatively new, because everybody's like, oh, new things are so good. Well, now you just sample sized a infinity as a good thing. And you totally forgot about the negative side of that infinity. And we're all doing it. I was guilty of it until I woke up. I woke up to the logic: everything is not, everything is both, everything is neither. And each four of those answers is always relevant somewhere to someone, even if they don't exist yet, especially if they don't exist yet, because that's like half the equation, is people not existing answers that law. Then all four of those have positive and negative reasons. Finitely so in the moment, already created. Infinitely so when you speak about time. Eat. I really want to rewind a little bit too and talk about how am I supposed to have fun in the universe if telepathy listening is a rapeable thing. If you can listen to my telepathy without my consent, and I'm not profiting from it directly because I want to create proprietary ideas and profit off of them. Like imagine this, my stream idea today, somebody could steal it. I had the idea at work, I'm going to talk about brain phenotypes. I'm going to talk about lowest factorial blocks. I'm going to talk about telepathy zones. What if I got onto Twitch, I did that stuff, and by the time I got home to do it, boom, somebody already stole all these ideas. Welcome to Good Burger, home with the Good Burger. Can I take your order? Here's another one too. Is the universe is what you believe. Is something that it's a telepathic therapy, meaning universal therapy, meaning like a psychic therapy, therapy in general. Psychic therapy. What I want to say is psyche therapy too. It's a tool. Psyche therapy. The universe is what you believe. Not a curse. Not something like, oh, the universe is what you believe now. Get fucked. Haha, I kicked him from my universe. That was so cool and amazing. And God built it for me. And I didn't know shit. And now I'm a stupid brat and I want to fucking abuse curses. Not how that works. A psyche therapy tool. The universe is what you believe means do not believe in the negative because then you will be in the negative vibrations within and you will not enjoy your experience. That is why I say there is no such thing as negativity. Even though there is, right? There is no such thing as negativity. I am not lying there. I am using ideaplex to guard myself from lying. That is a title of an idea. That idea means there is infinite power to create anything. So when you create negativity, create a alternate positivity instead, and you will have higher vibrational moments in your life. Better feelings, higher meaning good. I mean, things will feel better for you. I feel like this is one of my most important releases ever right now. It's like idea phenotype, self-cursing. Let's talk about nocebo. Placebo, Corona woke me. up to nocebo. Because I truly believe corona is just the flu. Advertised. The strength at which advertising the flu can cause is witnessed by corona, is my belief. Now, that could be just a conspiracy theory, but like, I believe that. I believe isolation is the cancer. Isolation makes every single person have to cure instead of every single person that already did cure. Imagine this. I sneeze out in public. I already cured corona. Now every single person that got the mutagen masses from my antibodies that I sneezed out is now cured too. Now, this is where shit gets real. Is isolation causes permutations of mutagen mass, meaning when we stop isolation, we can have higher immune system as a herd immunity. So we might not have flu for a very, very, very long time. But at what cost? We could have just created a scalar and healed everybody forever with omni antibody, mutagen mass, particle alignment transferring. Like I was talking about, remote nanites. Remote control some nanites, go up in somebody's body and be like, change mutagen mass. When we're that aware of mutagen mass science, which we're becoming, you start to predict permutations of bioterrorism. Bioterrorism is as simple as the cold. All right? You label it as that. These are the undesirable things and start to permutate phenotypes in the future of mutations that are going to be similar that might affect us and have the ability to have three-dimensional particle scans of the universe to look at these permutations of mutagen mass, because there is mutagen mass which is RNA DNA inside corona. So inside of each virus there is RNA DNA mutagen mass. That's what instructs the virus to be a virus. So these are phenotypes of reality. And when you get those phenotypes on how, because get this, your cell scales up from RNA DNA. It goes, this is inside my cell, RNA DNA in the middle of your cell. In the middle of your cell, you got your mutagen mass. That mutagen mass is literally the build of the cell, is what I've been taught. It is what makes its everything. It will not be different unless some weird occurrence. But it should not be different. It's kind of what I want to say. The universe is so, like, the universe's simulation is like, everything is not for negative and positive reasons. Oh, cool, whatever. But, that's a play on God's advocate and devil's advocate too, by the way. Everything is not for positive and negative reasons. Let's get a gradient on that, please. ASAP. Can I see the pie chart? Oh, boy. Okay, here it is. Everything that ever existed, the positive and negative reasons listed in positivity and negativity at my relative perceived filter. Okay, now I'm going to go from here and up. These are the only sciences I can perceive ever again. All right, good. Goodbye, everybody. I'm going to heaven. Found it out. I got the keys to heaven, baby. I really do got the keys to heaven, though. It's right there. It's that easy. I'm telling people at work, I'm like, yo, I got the keys to heaven if you need them. And they're like, yo, whatever. Us too. Some of them are like, yeah, I've had those for a while. But now you have them as well. Oh, what was it? You missed it? Should I go over the keys to heaven again? Your inner verse is either positive or negative. And the more positive relative perceived to you, the more heaven you will be in. There you go. This whole video is the key to heaven. Heaven on Mother Earth. Welcome home, baby. Yeet. Yeet. I should YouTube this one and call it Heaven on Mother Earth. That's a really good idea. So I want to talk about the universe is what you believe. If you ever lucid dreamed with like full power, full unlock, where you can like fly and teleport and manifest things. I was able to like terraform. I moved mountains, I moved an ocean. I was going like 90 miles an hour upside down, levitating on water on that ocean. And then as soon as I got bored of it, I just closed my eyes, thought of home, and built it, and went, bam, I'm there. And it was kind of hard at first, too, to do all this stuff, to, like, will it in. Because I had to put the mind frame into it. I'd be like, I had to build it. I had to build that universe. And I built it as if it already existed, too. That's the coolest part, is to build that which already exists. Is so cool. That's a really good key to the universe right there. I feel like I just synapsed an entire book of like magic for everybody in this video. Like, welcome to the world of magic, where everything's cool and awesome and amazing. And yeah. Next phase. Manifest even more magic. Even more magic must be had. Let me talk about magic. The scientific term of magic. Magic is the unexplained science to the relative perceiver. Because everything is science to a perceiver. Eventually, no matter what. Because imagine a thing existing outside of finite rules. That doesn't make sense to me. Magic is the undefined science to your perception. Each your that you are. That is why I highly recommend scientific universes. Scientific universes are the magic to soul fulfillment. Now get this. A scientific universe can have an alternate definition of magic. Let's say, okay, I agree to that. I agree that it is a scientific universe, but I still want magic. So much science above your head, that it is still magic to your perception. Now, the next thing is the next thing is gears of the universe that you do not know. Remember when I said I teleported? I used magic to teleport. Remember when I said I terraformed? I used magic to terraform. I did not know what I was terraforming. I did not know quantum particles and photons and lowest factorial block. I didn't know any of this, any of it. So there's multiple definitions of magic. One is my magic to me. I want magic to me. Well, what? Now we just made an oxymoron because, just kidding. We're defining two different magics, and the two different magics, when you overlap them and say they're the same, then you think that you're in oxymoron land, but you're not in oxymoron land. You're still a smart person. Because someone else's magic just means that you cannot understand the science. But when you want to cast magic, you say, I want to do this thing now. And I do not know how to do it, but complete it as soon as possible. So you turn all the gears and all the factors and everything. And a big thing that I've been doing a lot recently is cursing evildoers with fallibility. When they change a gear that is wrong to you, that is bad to you, mean to you. Because mean to you is wrongness. Wrongness is fallibility. And fallibility is a very, very, very deep curse that is pre-authed. If somebody is fallible to you, that means they are wrong to you. And they don't necessarily need to lose their magic, but they do need to lose their magic to you because they are in the wrongness. Holy moly, this place is so tanky. When did this place get tanky? I thought I was smoking fools in here. So one thing I like to say is hacking games is wrongness. No matter what. Because the game was developed in binary. And I'm pretty sure I'm not trying to play a multiplayer game that allows you to control controls that I don't control. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to have the same skills, yo. Like, we going to play World of Warcraft out here. World of Warcraft style. I have this many skills, you have this many skills, you got this many skills, I got this many skills. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. And in Archero, I have one skill. Move my character. It can't be that hard to remove magic from your game. Magic meaning turning gears that should not be allowed to be turned. You have this one gear right here. It's the movement bar. There you go. You know, maybe Habby didn't make a deal with God or something. You know what I mean? Like God, like, I know you want this for your game, but like, I don't know. I don't know about all that. Consent combat? Psh, who needs that? Rape combat. Let's get it. I do agree, though, that there is room for both. Imagine this. Magic arena setting. Oh, boy. I instantly hear it's too early for that. But it's not, though. Maybe not. Maybe don't classify it as magic. Just say anything goes, and then like have just like a different setting and make people figure it out. I mean, they're already doing it, and either way, they're both prevalent in the world today, depending on how you code. Oh my. Damn, Daniel. Damn. Yeah, I really want to see Habby make lowest factorial gear definition changes. Lowest factorial gear, like I've said many times, will change this game from the magic that it is, meaning players can cheat very easily. It's one app download now. Like they got apps, free apps you can just download. You can have God mode and instant kill. Free apps. When your game is that broken that you can put God mode and instant kill on for free, you have a hacking issue. And you must save your fucking game, players, from the hacking issue. Like Counter-Strike was going ham on hacks for like ever too. That's why I don't play Counter-Strike, is like it just allows way too many hacks. I can't even stand that. Yeah, no thank you. No thank you. I am not gonna play your game. Your game is so unsecure that you don't even know what you're doing right now. You are not defining lowest factorial blocks. You are just creating the game in your imaginary way. Like that's what I mean by different engines. Different engines matter. Like certain engines are impermeable because they build it in lowest factorial gear blocks, and they say these are the controls you get. These are the gears you get. With these controls, you can change these gears. And now every permutation of reality persists and exists easily definable.
Oh yeah. No, no, no. Yes. Wow, yes.
Download and solve the puzzles now.
Yeet. Yeet. so many mosquitoes right now here. I'm gonna take off in a little bit. I feel like I covered all the bases. I hope all you guys that have watched today will carry on some of this messaging, some of these messages that I sent today through this video. Bring these ideas to life. Help manifest by putting out voice, putting out action. Request matters. Tell your developers, tell your coders that you know, tell your game developer friends, tell your college professors, tell your teachers, tell everybody. Tell everybody these things and get them out there because it matters. It really matters. Like, look at the world we're in. What is going on? Bruh. There's so much bad and there's so much good to mask it that it's like the bad gets swept under the rug. And bad is not a thing that should exist. Makes no sense. We can call bad. Patriot Act. That's what I want to go to. Patriot Act, Patriot Act, Patriot Act. Patriot Act means one thing. Goodness has already won. Yes, I believe in this. And it means that because terrorism, terrorizing, those are the words we're talking about right now. Terrorizing somebody is infinitely authorized to work against, no matter what. I'm talking devil himself. Here in America, where I live, we have Patriot Act, meaning even the devil, the worst motherfucker there is, even if the devil's not the worst, even if somebody that's like the devil 2.0 comes around, terrorism should not persist. The end. If it ever does, infinite alarm should go off and infinite counter rape should be applied. Infinite counter rape means all of the worst possible things that person could probably go through in the moment, he should probably go through it until he's like, oh yeah, I don't do that. I'm not supposed to do that. We're good. That's what Patriot Act means to me. Terrorizing somebody is terrorism. Terrorism isn't just blowing up a building. It's not just Allah Akbar. That's not the only version of terrorism. Terrorism is as simple as what I was talking about earlier. Scalar rape. Biotech rape. Biotech poisoning. Nanite poisoning. Telepathy poisoning. Astral world poisoning. All this shit is still terrorism. Wake the fuck up. That's the number one thing I don't get is corruption too. Corruption is terrorism. If somebody is being flagged as a corrupt official, they lose their officialness. They are no longer official. They are de-officialed. Corruption is terrorism. That means if somebody's like, no, let it go. For what reason do we let that go? If I just witnessed terrorism and I'm going to counter that terrorism and somebody says, no, let it go, why should I? If it is your job to do so, you do not say no. You do not listen. Like, that's the number one thing is, like, do not allow corruption. That's ridiculous. Corruption today is like so bad in my eyes from where I'm standing. Not that I'm going to say that it's infiltrated anywhere at all, except the minds of people. The thing is greed and rapport. Greed and rapport are the number one two things that enable corruption. Is I want power and money, therefore I must be this role in order to control my intake of money, or I intake less money. Yeet. Man, I got a swarm of... Oh my god, I got like 30 mosquitoes right here right now. These are like little drone-ass mosquitoes too. Blue. Evildoers. Darkness. Vampires in real life. The evildoers. Darkness. It's so true though. So true. Get out of here! You know blood for you. I don't even have blood. Start lying to them, they believe it. I don't have blood. No, you don't. I put off fake smells. I got mosquito poison. Mosquito poison, free mosquito poison. Come and get it. Oh boy. They're so bad. So let's talk more about some cool stuff. I want to talk about relative interconstructional scalar. Scalar is not really a term that goes around often. Like I tried looking it up, and I don't think I found anything like that I liked. You know, I kind of got it from one of my friends who I would say is like a billionaire. And I knew of the idea. I just had no idea what to call it. I was just calling it like quantum field management at a remote distance. And then I heard it. I did a scalar once, and I was like, ooh, a word for that thing that I didn't know. That's kind of how it goes too, right? You will know that things are these things before they are those things. And a good example of that is when I used to play Halo 2, I learned that the faster you could communicate things, like instead of saying, he's at battle rifle spawn, you go, BR1. The faster you can communicate things matters. And then that scales into yourself, too. The faster you can think things, the faster you can learn things. Yeet! Mosquitoes are just savages. Ideaplex. I really want to talk about Ideaplex because that's going to be the future as far as I'm concerned. No more crazy people. Why crazy people in the first place? Who thought of that? No, thank you. We have infinite power. We have infinite technology. Why are people not being handled appropriately? Because if that's a punishment, you did a shit job at punishing. And you should be punished. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't provide a multiversal experience to minds, if you can't do it, you have failed in technology standards. At least as far as I'm concerned. Because terrorism's as easy as going terrorism, an infinity that is captured. And within this infinity that is captured, we are automatically multiversing all terrorism. You want to blow up this building? You blow it up. Without us. You want to kill this person? You killed this person without us. That's the stuff I'm talking about right here. Is like, we need that out here. Like, I get it. Soul fulfillment. Hide the truth. You know, like, hide the truth. Let them figure it out. Fill their soul the most. Yada, yada, yada. But, fairness when? It is not fair that even microscopic terrorism proceeds to those that do not consent. And I know I did not. In fact, my life was perfect until I said I did not. And now that I said that I did not, people go out of their way to break the consent. My life was perfect for 28 years. It felt like, almost like I said, I only consent to positive. And then at that day was the day that rapists all around the universe were like, a positive consenter? Oh my God. We must mush his awarenesses towards the hell that existence is, because that is what we believe is right and just and true and holy and sacred and blah, 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 blah. And they're like, we are reverse sample sizer bots. Beep, beep, boop, boop. Decepticons unite. Like, bro, come So I want to talk about crypto farming too. I discovered crypto farming really early, and I actually was doing ad viewing for micro crypto. I was getting like 0.001 bitcoins to like watch an ad or some shit like that, or watch 10 ads. And you know what? I actually lost that Bitcoin wallet at the end of the day. Like, my hard drive ended up getting corrupted. It was a physical hard drive. It was actually one of the spinning ROMs, and it got corrupted to the point where I'm pretty sure you could data extract it if you brought it into a data extractor that has a ROM reader, because it'd be as simple as opening it up and putting in the disk into a ROM reader, and then it would extract as much data as it possibly could. And I would assume that it's pretty likely I could get my Bitcoin wallet back from that, but you know, I looked into it spiritually, and it was like $200. I don't really care. That might be the cost to extract the data in the first place. So another thing I want to talk about is space currencies and Vedantic currencies. This is some juicy stuff. I bet you it'll come out within the next 100 years. Maybe sooner for some. It's actually one of the coolest topics is how can you have currency that you didn't even know about? Well, pretty easily. In fact, think of Bitcoin wallets hosted by God. That's it. Well, everything's got a value. And when people start finding out the value of like what you do for them without them knowing, your whole world might change. For the good or for the bad. So, kind of gotta watch out, because you never know what's gonna happen. Yeet, get out of here. Alright, I'm gonna check chat. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna take off here. Hopefully, may the force be with you, and the Positron army be strong, and all hail Optimus Prime. Yeah. Positron, I'm out. Have a good day. Peace.